Good morning. Here's your U.S. news briefing for Tuesday, August 4th. What is Trump Media's Truth API and why is it controversial? Trump Media and Technology Group, TMTG, has set up a paid service to give Wall Street firms access to Truth Social's most influential accounts. $200,000 worth of supplies donated to PB schools. BP profits highest in 4 years as Iran war pushes up oil price. Higher oil prices boost the energy giant's results while environmental groups accuse it of profiteering. The studio behind Pokémon struggles to find its voice in Beast of Reincarnation. You have to imagine that the team at Game Freak is bursting with ideas. The studio puts out new mainline Pock and #233, Mon adventures with a machine-like precision. Breslow, surging Red Sox deserved big trades. The Red Sox acquired three-time All-Star catcher Adley Rutschman in a trade with the Baltimore Orioles, the biggest in a slew of deadline moves for Boston. Gagarine directors Fanny Liatard and Jérémy Trouilh talk The Green Eyes as Canology announces first sales, Dreamers Know No Borders, exclusive. Having boarded as the sales agent of Locarno Film Festival and #8217, this and #8220, The Green Eyes, and #8221, Canology has pre-sold The Green Eyes and #8221, to Benelux, Sinart, Switzerland, Filmkupi, Turkey, Chantier, and the former Yugoslavia region, MCF. Distribution in France will be handled by ODT Court, one of the film and #8217's producers. The Vogue Business AI Tracker. Vogue Business brings you a weekly update of the most interesting stories in the world of AI that you need on your radar. Stay tuned as we spotlight AI initiatives in the fashion and beauty industry each week. 5 dead in Moscow region as Ukraine continues warehouse strikes. Facilities in St. Petersburg and Tver were also hit, while at least one was killed in Russian strikes on Ukraine. Family throws surprise birthday party at Eagles tailgate for Vietnam vet. Could heat waves make your food shop more expensive? As temperatures rise, the chillers might not be the only thing supermarkets are adjusting. After killer quarter, Palantir CEO Alex Karp calls AI industry Marxist. After a quarter that delivered $1 billion in profit, Palantir CEO Alex Karp on Monday once again warned that AI frontier labs are too untrustworthy for enterprises. Source, Yanks to call up top prospect Lombard. The Yankees plan on calling up top prospect George Lombard Jr. on Tuesday after optioning shortstop Anthony Volpe to AAA, a source said. Mary Rivera, Ned's grandma in Spider-Man, No Way Home, dies at 82. Rivera memorably featured in the scene where Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire make their first appearance in the MCU. You can't be messy online anymore. Where to next? Mainstream social platforms have become too commercial for culture to flourish. As creativity migrates to smaller platforms built on participation rather than performance, brands must rethink not just how they show up, but whether they even should. Arson arrest made over largest of Washington state's wildfires. There are 3 wildfires in the Spokane area that have forced 60,000 to be evacuated from their homes. Why Texas is betting Y'all Street can take on Wall Street. Dallas's financial industry is growing, amid a larger Texas business boom. But can it really steal New York's crown? Why is Trump Media selling early access to Trump's Truth Social posts? The service reportedly costs up to $100,000, £74,170 per month and offers access to posts from influential accounts milliseconds before they appear online. U.S. company's AI lets Ukraine's cheap kamikaze drones track targets on their own. $100 million deal gives 50,000 Ukrainian drones U.S.-developed AI capabilities. GM Cashman not ruling out anything with Judge. Yankees GM Brian Cashman said Aaron Judge's status ultimately hinges on what the next imaging of the rib shows. He declined to share when he expects Judge to undergo that scan. Serena Rossi to receive Venice Fest's Passion for Film Award. The Italian actress next appears alongside Tony Servillo and Mario Martone Scherzetto, premiering out of competition at Venice. Pisces Daily Horoscope. February 19th to March 20th. Soldier kills 4 in gun rampage in Russian-occupied Crimea. The region's Moscow-installed governor says the gunman has been detained after firing at fellow soldiers and civilians. Primaries in the Midwest have become a high-stakes proving ground for progressives. Democratic primary elections in Michigan, Wisconsin and Minnesota have made the Midwest a test case for whether progressive candidates can win in competitive states and what electability really means. Half-price rail travel extended to 18-year-olds. They'll be able to buy the 16 to 17 Saver rail card up until the day before they turn 18. Snap CEO sidesteps specs pre-order questions on Q2 earnings call. When asked about product market fit, Spiegel said he believes mass-market consumer adoption won't occur until the end of the decade. UFC's Nascimento dies of apparent heart attack. UFC flyweight Alan Nascimento has died of an apparent heart attack, the promotion announced Monday. He was 34. Singapore's first wuxia film, The House on the Moon, unveils clip ahead of Locarno competition bout. Director Nelson Yeo decided to fully embrace genre, exclusive. Singapore has never really had a wuxia feature film, though the genre was a fixture of local television in the late 1980s and early 1990s, when a wave of wuxia serials cast actors like Li Nanqing and Xu Ming. Key takeaways from Luxury's Q2 earnings. Analysts unpack Luxury's quarterly results and weigh in on what lies ahead. What will happen when a SpaceX rocket collides with the moon? Our satellite has endured countless blows over millions of years, and astronomers think this one could be a useful accident. A veteran was detained by the National Guard in her front yard. Now she's suing. Military veteran and D.C. resident Anna King has filed a $3 million lawsuit against the Idaho National Guard, saying 3 Guard members assaulted her while detaining her in front of her home. Tokenomics, why making AI pay is tricky. Buyers of AI services are struggling to control costs and sellers are not sure how much to charge. Your Fitbit data can now connect directly to Apple Health. Google is rolling out an update that will finally allow you to connect your Fitbit workouts, steps, vitals, and other data to Apple Health, as reported earlier by 9to5Mac. With Google Health's 5.05 update, you can now tap your profile icon, select partner apps, and choose Apple Health to link your data directly. American football 31 teams with best chance to make CFP. These schools have the players and the schedules to reach the playoff in 2026. Think the Paramount WBD megadeal has nothing to do with the Locarno Film Festival? Think again. There are some earthquakes that are shaking up the infrastructure of the global industry, which plays into this year's program, says Marcus Duffner, director of industry strand Locarno Pro. Alo International CEO Benedetta Petruzzo on the brand's big Euro summer. Alo has invested heavily in major European activations this summer, from its mega yacht to resorts in Bodrum and St. Tropez. Petruzzo unpacks the strategy and how she measures ROI. Analysis, Trump challenged by cold reality from top allies. A president used to bending U.S. politics to his will faces 2 stinging losses in a matter of days, writes the BBC's Anthony Zurcher. Paxton trails Tallarico by 2 points in new Texas Senate poll. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, the Republican nominee for Senate in the Lone Star State, is trailing Democrat James Tallarico by 2 points in new polling of the closely watched race. A survey from the Barbara Jordan Public Policy Research and Survey Center at Texas Southern University found Tallarico leading with 47% to Paxton's. Heat waves are changing summer weddings, here's how to plan for one. The wedding industry is facing last-minute costs to cope with the heat and October bookings are up. Samsung's discounted smart monitor is $349.99, its lowest price yet. Samsung makes a variety of TVs and computer monitors, but if want both and you're limited on space, you might want to consider the M80F. Tigers president defends return in Skubal trade. Tigers president Scott Harris dismissed the idea that Detroit should have waited right up until the deadline to trade Tarek Skubal, saying, "That's not how markets for the top players work." Amazon picks up Baywatch reboot internationally. In a multi-territory deal covering much of Europe, Latin America, Canada and India, Prime Video also licensed all 9 seasons of the original Baywatch and Baywatch Hawaii. Housegall Studio is preserving Danish wool. With its Danish wool program, Copenhagen Fashion Week favorite Skull Studio is working to protect a local supply chain before it disappears for good. U.S. states sue to block Trump tariffs impacting dozens of countries. The duties were imposed over claims that 60 U.S. trading partners have failed to tackle forced labor. Morning News Brief. Senate Judiciary Committee will vote to advance Todd Blanche's nomination. Michigan holds high-profile primary Tuesday. A man has been arrested in connection with one of the Spokane wildfires. That's your briefing for today. Have a great day.